re, do, ti, do. Oh, hey there! Drew here for another episode of Drew's Cues. I've been a musician at some level since birth, and at every step of my journey, I have tried to find the thing that would make me a better musician. Stick with me for a few minutes and let me tell you about this skill that I am so glad that I learned, and I wish that I had put a lot more energy into a lot sooner. And why I believe every musician, from the most professional all the way to the hobbyist, should at least put some effort into. Here are my top 5 reasons why you should learn to sight read. The ability to sight read is one of the most helpful skills that I have learned. I started singing in choirs or quartets when I was about 10 years old, but it wasn't for another 6 or 7 years before I started to really understand music notation. And then it was another 3 or 4 years before I could really function at it, and then another 4 years still before I could actually say that I was good at sight reading. As with many things, in hindsight, I'm really glad that I know how to sight read, and I wish that I had started it a lot sooner. To be more specific, sight reading at the highest level is the ability to pick up a piece of music never having seen or sung or played it before, and to be able to play it at sight with a fairly high level of technical and musical proficiency, making it sound as though you've been playing and practicing this song for a while. Before diving into my list, let me get something out of the way. Is sight reading absolutely necessary for you to become a great musician? No, it definitely is not. Saying so, honestly, is kind of elitist. If you think you are a better musician than someone simply because you're better at sight reading than they are, stop it right now. I know plenty of great musicians who can sing or play with great feeling and emotion, and yet can't read any music, or very little. I consider myself to be a pretty good sight reader and a pretty good musician, but I can name at least 5 singers who can emotionally move an audience much more effectively than I can, who also need recordings or someone else to help them to learn a song. So let's talk about motivation. Why would I want to become a better sight reader? I mean, if nothing else, it is super impressive to be able to just pick up a piece of music, never having seen it before, and play it or get a starting pitch and start to sing it. But hey, learning to sight read takes a lot of work. It starts off slowly, takes a lot of practice, and can be pretty monotonous. Pun intended. So, why bother? Reason number 5. Is it a match? When you can sight read, it's easier to make decisions about whether or not a piece is going to be a match for you. You don't need to hear somebody else play it or sing it for you to understand what's in the piece. You can check out the range, difficulty of rhythms, the speed of the piece, singability, all without even having to actually play or sing or listen to it. You'll improve your inner ear, so you'll be better at looking at a piece of music and actually hearing it being played in your mind. So looking through the music, you'll be able to hear it in your mind, and you'll be able to hear the intervals and the rhythms and the sounds that you would make while playing it. This way, you can decide if it's a piece that you're going to like and that fits you and that's at your current level, so you don't even need to take out your instrument or try singing it before making some of those decisions, and that will save some valuable practice time. Reason number 4, learn music faster. Just from your very first playthrough or sing through, you can get a sense of the style of the music and how it will feel for you to sing or play it. Also, after just a few read-throughs, you will get a really good feeling for what sections are more difficult than others, what intervals are more difficult than others, and so you can then plan your practice time around those spots of the song, thus making your practice a lot more efficient. You also don't need to be in a practice room or even with your instrument, if you're not a singer, to be able to kind of practice the music. When you can sight read, you can take the piece out anywhere, anytime, and even start getting some brain practicing in, deciding maybe some fingerings, or even singing through it on some solfege in your brain, and then making decisions about what you're going to do in your next actual practice session. Again, saving more time, making your real practice time more efficient, because you've already thought through these things ahead of time. Reason number 3, ensemble rehearsal skills. Being able to sight read, you'll be able to glance at other voice parts or instrument parts and then be aware of or understand what they're supposed to be doing at any given time, even if you haven't heard them do those parts before. You'll also be better at understanding how your part relates to other parts. Once you get better and faster at sight reading, you'll also get better and faster at things like reading chords in the music and finding fun rhythmic relationships between your part and other parts and different things like that. This also then helps you to know how you can cue yourself off of what other parts are doing and also predict some fun interplay rhythmically or musically between your part and another part. And all of this puts you in a really good position to be able to constructively critique other members of the ensemble or even become a director of an ensemble. And the number 2 reason, confidence in playing and practicing. When we are first learning to sing or play or learning a new piece, we often rely on others, especially teachers, to let us know whether what we are doing is correct or not and what needs to be improved. Many of us know that feeling of getting through a piece or a section of a piece and then looking up at our teacher inquisitively thinking, "How was that?" and hoping that we might get some praise from them. When you learn to sight read and get better and faster at it, you also then learn to self-assess and be more aware of when you make errors and need to go back and fix those things. Like, if you see a major second on the sheet, but realize that you sang a major third, or maybe you see a C natural on the sheet and realize that you played an E flat, you can very quickly go back, practice that section, and fix it on your own. It feels really good to be able to do those kinds of things for yourself. Your practice sessions feel more productive and go faster, and then you get to show off to your teacher that you know something was off and what it was, and that it needs to be corrected, giving you a little bit more pride and confidence in that situation and that moment. Before getting to the number 1 reason why we should learn to sight read, let me have this little honorary mention. While I don't think that this should be in the top reasons, sight reading is obviously more than just a cool party trick. Being able to sight read something in a room full of people who aren't quite as good as you at it kind of elevates your status a little bit. And let's face it, that's a good feeling that can help boost your confidence and go a long way in helping your musicianship in that situation. And my number 1 reason for learning to sight read is the ability to play and sing with others. Getting together to sight read informally. Nerdy? Yes. Super fun? Absolutely yes. One of my favorite things to do is to get together with a group of people who can sight read and pull out pieces that none of us have ever sung or most of us have never sung and just sing them. Blow a pitch or get a starting key and just start to sing. This will allow you to experience some different music that you may not have chosen for yourself if it's something that somebody else brings to that gathering. This could also be something that leads to finding a new ensemble or band or choir that you want to sing or play with on a much more regular basis. So, pick up some sheet music, go to a sight reading practice website like Sight Reading Factory, and give it a try. Go slow and practice. The better you get, the more you'll like it, and the better you will feel. I hope I've inspired you to take this skill to the next level. What are your top reasons for learning to sight read? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did and want more of it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so that you get notifications and don't miss anything. Please leave a comment to let me know what you thought, and you can also go and check out my Instagram or Facebook pages at Drew Wheaton Music for more updates. Thanks, I'll see you next time.